Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to look at how the CEFR tests work on Equip. So CEFR tests are for language proficiency skills. So they test your speaking, reading, writing, and listening skills. You can use them for multiple languages. On Equip, we have them for the English language. And so this is what the candidate would see in a typical CFR test. So there'll be questions on vocabulary, right? So a question like this, so it's a simple MCQ. Go ahead, then there may be questions on grammar. Again, depending on the difficulty at which you assign the CFR test, there'll be different points to the questions. Here you're seeing a question on writing. CFR tests on Equip are fully automated. So when you write or you speak, it is graded by Equip AI, and you do not have to actually manually evaluate the candidate's response, right? So, for example, here the question is to write an email. So you're given a scenario, you're a customer support representative, there's some details about the issue, and then the requirement is that you must write an email, and a few points are mentioned, right, that you need to bear in mind. So let me just write an email. I'll keep it very short. Right, so I have clearly not followed the instructions. I have not referenced anything about the issue, right? I'm just going to submit this. So this email has been submitted. Now there's a question on speaking skills, right? So here you're told you're in charge of a company team building event, but the venue has changed, right? And so you're told what you must do. Again, so the candidate will get questions like these, right? So there's a scenario, and then there is a task, a requirement that they must complete. And in this case, we need to speak, and so I can start myself, start recording this. So let me say, hey guys, unfortunately the venue has changed. We will be meeting at 8 p.m. and we'll be taking the company bus. So I've recorded myself. I can play back and see if it was recorded fine. I can record again, but let me go ahead with this. So I've finished the speaking skill. Now there's reading, right? So there's a comprehension, so there's a passage, and then there are questions related to this. These are not direct lookup questions. These really test if you can understand what is said here. It's not just, match keywords here with keywords there. So let's say I get a few, I'm just picking some at random. Again, important to know that each question has points, right? Depending on the level of difficulty you want to test the candidate at. Say go ahead. Now this is a listening question, right? So I say,
have you ever noticed how music in a...
So I can play the audio, and again I'm asking questions based on what was discussed in the audio. So you play the audio once, then you answer questions based on that, right? So this is also done. So let me say submit. So I have now submitted all the questions, and you will see the results, right? I've obviously fared very poorly. The first question is a simple MCQ, so I've got negative points because I got it wrong. Next question, very lucky I got it right. Here, this is the the cool thing, right? So you can see there's this AI symbol here. I have only been awarded 1 out of 10 points, and this is my response, and the AI is giving you a reason, right? The response is very short, lacks all required elements, whatever, right? So obviously this is not hard-coded. Depending on what you write here, the AI will give you a reason. It will also give you a score. All right. So this is very cool because the AI knows all that needs to be done. It knows what you have done, and it gives you a score and a reasoning behind the score. And then the same thing here, right? I've only got 3 points. Response is very short. It lacks details. Exactly what you would expect, right? So I communicated very poorly, and it's graded me accordingly. And then I just answered some MCQs, and you will see them here, right? So the CFR test, in general, the way the CFR tests work is you have grades from A1 through C2, right? A1, B1, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Obviously the C2 is the highest level. On Equip, you can choose either to select a level and say, okay, I want to test all candidates at the B2 level and see how they score, or you can let our AI discover the candidate's level. So you can say, okay, give them this test, and then maybe they start at B1, and then if they do well, it goes up to B2. If they do poorly, they come down to A2, and so on. So you can either set a level and then check how well the candidate does at that level, or you can let our AI figure out what the level of the candidate is, right? So you can have it in both flavors. All right, thank you.